RC driver friends, we've got another recovery mission to take care of. The Fury wagon, it lost a few cross pins, so we got to get it hauled out of here, and that's where this comes in. The new Hobby Plus Arktos 6x6 with a winch on the flatbed. The ready-to-run truck in this box is probably going to blow your minds with all the stuff that it comes with. I think this is going to be really good for those small-scale enthusiasts. Slide this out. Here's the radio system. You could already tell it's a full-size radio. Look at that. And check out all these switches and stuff. We're going to need those with this one. There's the truck. That's cool. All right, let me get out of the styrofoam here. 6x6 action. It has the Hobby Plus knobby tires on it. Man, look at this thing. That's pretty awesome. Oh, and this is a hard body too. That's cool. The mirrors fold out. Yep. And look at this, guys. Here it is, a working winch. All right, we need to take a closer look. I just had to go and put the batteries in, and look at all of the LED lights on this flatbed truck. It looks so cool, and you can control the light functions. I'm gonna go over that in a minute, but let's just look at this thing. Got the light bar up top, got the pod lights in the front, headlights, hazards. This is just cool. Bedside lights, and even tail lights. Let's go through these lights actually. So if you hit the button, it's gonna shut it off. One hit, and we've just got some standard lights. Do we have any turn signals? No, no turn signals. One more hit. There's our turn signals. That's the way to do it. That I love. Let's hit it again. Back off. Now we've got the all the auxiliary lights on. Very cool. One more, and that's when the hazards come on. I didn't see if there's any tail lights or reverse lights. Let's see what we got here. Yup, reverse lights. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Love the look of this. So obviously it's an 18 scale cab over design. I'm gonna go over the flatbed features in a little bit, but a little bit more about the cab body on this. We've got transparent windows on it, and they are tinted from the factory. These mirrors fold in, so if you roll this thing over, they're just gonna collapse. Love the look of the front of this. And it's all hard plastic. So you get a lot of detail with the hard plastic. It's even got the visor up here, windows, just a very cool looking cab forward design. And then this is how the body comes off. So no body clips. You've got these little tabs here, one on each side. You push them in and the body tilts forward. Now you can go and access all of your electronics. Look at that, that's awesome. There's all the lights. Everything is nicely wired too, wow. This is a step up. Other manufacturers are gonna have to take notice of this thing. Slide this back down, and then to drop the body back in place, you have to just pinch those again, and it's nice and secure. Look, we got the boxes on the side. These sides fold down. We've got some wheel chocks here to go and secure it, but this is the big feature right here. It comes with this winch, and everything is all set up. So all you have to do is flip the channel 5 lever here. So if I flip it up, got to let that winch cable out. It is a wire cable, and then you drop it down and it pulls it back in. And it's winding a little bit, but it's got the torque, I think, to pull up a truck. We'll figure that out in a second. But it's a fixed bed, and you may be wondering, well, we've seen these before, but look what they did with this one. In order to get your vehicle up on it, you've got these ramps. They slide right out. And now you could go either drive it up. I think that's a decent angle where you could drive up, or you could use that winch. I think we need to give it a shot. All right, I've got my Fury wagon here. That was the easiest thing for me to get. And we'll back out the line here. Still going, we're getting there. I'm not gonna go and just throw it on the bull bar there. Let's see if I could hook it underneath the front. I didn't go far enough, but that's fine, right? Just clip it in here somewhere. There we go. Now, obviously this is in gear, but let's see if we could pull this thing up. So there we go, look at that. Oh, you probably need to set that in neutral. Look at this thing, look at that winch. This has got power through this thing. Oh, it fell off the side. But that's definitely gonna go and pull up your rig. You just may need to help throttle it a little bit. Now it looks like this is a little too wide for this, so that's probably why these go and drop down like that. But let's see, let me just center this. I don't know where the radio is for this, so we're just gonna muscle through it. That winch has some power, look at that. No problem, we're coming through. That's definitely gonna work. Again, you're gonna have to do a little driving assist here, but It just secures it down, you slide up your ramps, and you should be ready to take off. But check this out. So there is a neutral point in the transmission. So that's pretty cool. And I think this is low gear. Yep, that's low gear. And then you flip the switch again over here. That's high gear. Yeah, that's definitely high gear. Man, that looks good. I think this is gonna be something on everybody's wish list. If you're into the 18 scale stuff, this is cool. So I showed you some of that transmission functionality. The transmission actually has all metal gears on the inside. That's very cool. And then it has portal axles on this truck. So a 6x6, portal axles, you're gonna have all that ground clearance for your recovery missions, all metal gears in those, and then heavy duty drive shafts here. These have been bulked up because obviously this thing's gonna be carrying some more weight. The chassis is gonna look kind of familiar just with this H3 etching on it, but look at this, it's an aluminum frame rail, twin vertical plate basically, nice jeweled edges on it, and this thing is very strong. Let me pop the cab again so you can see the electronics tray. Just a nice simple setup here. It's actually part of the inner fender wells. And the battery is really easy to get to too. I like this, it's got a simple Velcro strap, just sits up in the front. Now let's take a look at the suspension. It's stuff that we've seen before from Hobby Plus. It's their composite shock. It does have aluminum preload collars in the top cap. They are oil filled, nice and soft. It's got some plush, suspension action to it. A little articulation there for you. And look at it, look at all that travel you can get out of that thing. That's very cool. They are plastic links on the bottom, and these are pretty soft. That's one thing I noticed, but I think they're actually gonna be working on this to firm them up a little bit for you guys. This is actually an early production sample that they were nice enough to send over for us to check out. Well, look at that, metal pivot balls and nice hex hardware throughout on this. And then might as well start talking about the electronics here. So it has a 280 size motor, so you got plenty of torque for when you're hauling stuff around. And then it has the FlySky electronics, the 2-in-1 unit here. It's got just tons of plugs for the LED lights. Comes with the LiPo battery. Let's just see what size it is. It's the 600 milliamp version, and a USB charger included for that. They, again, just blew it out of the water with this thing. I mean, just everything you could possibly want. Servo on axle setup. I guess the plastic links are the only downside to this, and I mean, it's not a huge deal. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna go on crazy crawling missions with this thing, but for the recovery aspect, the fun, I mean, just scale crawling, this thing is very cool. We need to see it in action. Let's head outside. All right, RC drivers, let's start off with a little bit of crawling action with the Arktos. You see how it does on this rocky section here. Suspension's nice and soft. I mean, everything is just working. Man, it's crawling up this ledge here. Nice. Let's check out the descent. Whoa, I got into it a little too hot there. Wow, pretty stable. Look at that. Look at that angle on that. Wow. I gotta show you guys this. It's got a pretty tight turning radius for a long chassis 6x6. Look at that. See how it does in the other direction? Same, maybe just a touch wider? No, I think it's about the same. That's impressive. That's got some good steering. Man, this thing is a beast. It just mops through anything. Look at that. Downhill. Oh, there we go. Rolled it. Back on all four. That was impressive. Gotta go for a view now. That's awesome. Awesome rig, awesome view. Of course, we have to see how it drives while it's got a rig on the flatbed. We'll take it around this little hill over here. And waiting for that weight to transition. Oh, that was close. Let's go over this little rock ridge here. Oh, a little tipsy. The suspension's nice and soft for crawling, but once you throw some weight on the back of it, it gets a little hairy. Oh, that was another close call. So one thing I didn't mention before is the truck does come with sway bars. You can install them if you want to, and it's really gonna help settle in the truck, especially when you're carrying something on the flatbed. And look at this, much better now. Easier to control. I mean, these springs are still soft. I think a harder spring would really help this truck out when you're hauling something, but I like the soft suspension when I'm just out crawling. So this is really a cool setup here. Oop, I gotta watch what I'm doing. I fall off the side. But anyway, they really nailed it with this. I mean, the amount of functionality that this truck has. It's got a FlySky radio system, a winch, tons of lights, 2-speed, portal axles. I mean, it's really well loaded up. And I think $199 is a good price tag for it. Even though it's a small rig, it's got just so much going for it.